And now, broadcasting from the hatchback of a 72 Ford Pinto, broadcasting from a secret bunker underneath Fort McHenry, broadcasting from the abandoned food court at the White Flint Mall, broadcasting live from their mother's basement, broadcasting from no closer than 100 yards from their court-mandated distance from Tim Ferriss, broadcasting from the back room of El Pollo Hermanos. It's Los Chicos de Niza por Negocios. Go from where you are now to where you could be. Get expert tips to grow your business, to be more productive and more efficient, whether you're trying to build influence, grow your community, or make it rain. Best-selling author of Nice Guys Finish First, Doug Sandler, can lead the way. The Nice Guys Own Business is produced by Turnkey Podcast Productions. Now, here's your host, Doug Sandler.
All right, Nice Guy community. What do you get when you cross fail with funny? Well, you get a show called the Flop Podcast. Lessons learned and experiences shared. Now, the two guys that are here, Wes and Josh, and I believe there was a rotating third seat, but we'll talk about that later. But whatever. I think Josh was actually the odd man out on one particular day. They ask fellow entrepreneurs about their stories about failed businesses, failed opportunities, and all the other flops that they may experience. Making failure okay to discuss. I'm happy to have them here on the show today. Welcome, guys, to the Nice Guys.
Hey, thanks, Doug. Happy to be here and excited to talk about some failure. About me and Bowman's personal failure. It should be a fun ride.
Oh yeah, we love failure. Thanks, Doug. Good to meet you, man.
Yeah, you want to talk about fucking failure? Talk about my first two marriages. I mean, that's really where we can start. You want to get into it really, really fast. So, I mean, I'll throw myself under the bus completely and quickly and without any hesitation at all, as my community will know after listening to us for so many years and so many episodes. I have no idea why I stayed in this game for so long, other than I said earlier, either too stupid or making too much money to do it. Why did you guys get into the game to begin with of podcasting?
Yeah, so I originally got in because I've had a myriad of business failures. Pretty much every business I've ever tried to start ended up failing in some way, shape, or form, including one with this dum-dum over here, Josh,
nice. And
with our other co-host, Tyler. I have another failed business. I've tried starting a bunch of things, and every time I do it, I get a little bit further along in the process. So figured, over time, I'll eventually get there, Doug. It's just a matter of doing that.
Well, there's one thing to have a failure, and then there's a second thing to actually start a podcast about having failure, which is another thing. Josh, why did you get pulled along into it's like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I feel like you have a show that's called the Flop Podcast. You're destined to be failures, but you guys aren't, and I know you're not. But actually, tongue in cheek, what? Tell me the motivation for you, Josh.
Oh, absolutely. So, Wes and Tyler are my guys, right? They're my boys, my besties. And for the longest time, I'm trying to hang out with them. And, they just don't want to do anything but start new businesses. So I said, the only way I can hang out with these YOLOs is I got to start businesses or do this podcast. And, so I'm in. Yeah.
I really enjoy that story. I think about the relationship that I have with my partner. We have a podcast production and strategy business. So we teach other podcasters actually how to make money from their show. There'll be more on that after this. It's an old bait and switch, get you on the show and then talk about all the great things that we're able to accomplish. And then fuck it, we're going to sell you shit. Okay.
And if we sign up some podcasters, then they'll make money too.
Yeah. We got a whole pyramid scheme. Let's do it. I love it. This is a great idea. And if we could just figure out how to make it, build a network marketing company around it, we'll be really good.
This is
I've been having the same conversation with my best buddy Strickland for the last 25 years. And I wrote a book back in 2014, 2015 called Nice Guys Finish First. And I'm like, hey, I need a way to get to failure really fast. Why don't we start a podcast? Because we know fucking nothing about podcasting. And he's like, hey, I'll do the audio side because he was an audio engineer. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I don't know anything about creating content, but let's just give it a shot. And we struggled for about 2 years with the podcast, trying to figure out how to make money. And then I would say somewhere around year 2 or maybe 2.5, somewhere in there, we struck gold and we haven't looked back since. Is there something that you have found that you've made success out of a flop? And maybe it is just the podcast or maybe it's something else.
That's a really good question, Doug. I think the podcast is a great example of that. And I know I also work a day job and so does Bowman. He's changing banking right now. But I'm constantly applying those principles to my everyday work on applying things that I've learned just from failing so often into my work to know what to avoid. So eventually that will turn into a profitable business. I promise you, Doug, and a profitable podcast. But we're working on that part.
Josh, what's a good failure? Like, what's a typical failure that you see like all the time from your guests on your show, or maybe things that you guys have experienced?
Oh yeah, no, I love it. I think a lot of the times people jump in, they're going to start a business. They watch a couple of videos on the internet. They're like, this is it. I'm going to do X. And then they go and do it. It's like they don't make any money immediately. And the amount of difficulty and the amount of work you have to do to actually put in is like a consistent, never ending grind.
Yeah.
So people just expect it to be easy. And then they're like, oh, this is like a lifestyle. It's like a full, I change everything and I do it every day until I win. And it might take me like 7 years to get there.
Oh yeah,
it's like going to take 3 days.
It's like every overnight success takes 8 years to begin to. I think about all the businesses that I've had a chance to participate in. I've been very fortunate. There's only been a couple of careers that I've had, but there's a lot of little small businesses, and I don't consider like a business within a business that doesn't, like an idea that's within a business that doesn't work. I don't consider that a failure of the business. I just consider that, well, that was an idea that didn't, really work. Like, Strickland and I, we started a podcast production business, and we're like, hey, it's really close to prostitution. Why don't we try to get some women and see if we can market them? But that didn't work. But it wasn't the fact that it was illegal. It was just the fact that, this probably doesn't make sense that to be selling drugs or prostitutes through our podcast. And by the way, for those in our community, it was a joke. We've never done that.
I was going to ask some follow-up questions.
Yeah.
How did it work?
We're just working on child labor right now. That's the other thing. It's fine. It's fine. Sex trafficking, the whole thing. We're working on that too.
All the Andrew Tate stuff.
So get into it. I mean, you just talk. I want to hear what you guys, if I were to give you an open mic, open forum to be able to just share a conversation with my audience, where would you even start? Like, pretend for the next 60 seconds that I'm not even here and you guys are just, all of a sudden, you're now hosts of the Nice Guys on Business podcast. Are you ready? Go.
Hey, Wes, welcome to the Nice Guys on Business podcast. I'm Josh Bowman, your host, and I just want to dive into some business failures around lunchboxes. I think it all started back in the day when I had two friends who would no longer play video games with me about 10 years ago. They grew up and it was pretty boring. And they said, let's start a business and do a mastermind instead. So we got on a Zoom just like this, and then we started trying to figure out how to make money on the internet. Would you say that's how it started, Wes?
I'd say that's pretty dang accurate.
Was that real world? Hold on, Wes. Was that? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt here. I'm just going to stop the role playing for just a second and just was that real? Was all of that real world? Did you guys? Is that what happened? You were. They wouldn't let you into their group. Is that what happened?
Oh no! I was like, hey guys, like, want to play some Age of Empires? Want to play some video games with your boy Josh? And like, nah, man, we're serious adults now.
How old were you guys when this all happened?
25, I'd say.
And when did you guys first start hanging out with each other as like friends?
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, I met Bowman from one of my best friends from PT school, and we just started kicking it and had similar passions. And yeah, I was like, hey, let's hang out with this dude.
And you guys do so, Josh? It sounds like are you in banking? Is that what you're in?
Yeah, I'm a product manager, so software development. I'm a big idea guy.
The fuck is that? What is a big idea guy? What's like product development, like for corporate, like a big company, like tens of thousands of people that work within a company? Like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah,
is that actually legit? I mean,
it's legit.
You make a paycheck and they pay you, but you actually don't have to do anything, right? Because you could probably just move papers from your left side of your desk to the right side every day.
Oh man, it's a whole it's a whole thing. I basically build the software that when a banker in a very tall tower in one of the big cities is doing your mortgage or doing your commercial loan, they log into the software that we build and then they complain about how it's not efficient enough. And then I take those complaints and I make them into better products.
So how many people are you like? So it's not a one-person team. There's got to be hundreds of people on your team. How many people are on the team that you work with?
6 exactly. Like 6 developers, quality assurance, tech writers, and like little small companies.
Are you a coder? Do you code?
No, that's why I'm a big idea guy, because I actually don't do any work. I just talk about. I think about the biggest idea possible, and then I chase it and I sell it both up to get funding and down to get the work done.
So why the fuck do you need Wes? I mean, you don't need a podcast. Just stay in that game up forever. Like, are there layoffs in that world? Sorry, Wes. Hold on a second. Wes, hold on. I'm coming back to you. Just hold on a second.
Yeah, no,
I'm coming back to you, Wes. Why? Like, what? What do you need a podcast for? Aren't you set for life in that, or is that a position that's ripe with like layoffs?
No, not ripe for layoffs. Because we're changing banking, Doug. But for Wes, I need Wes because I need actual people who do the job, who get it done. Like Wes, I'll be like, oh, we got to expand that out. Like, what about the next step? And he's like, Josh, we haven't even sent the email yet. Like, we should just reach out.
Oh, hold on a second. I misunderstood this. So, Wes, are you in the other side of the business that actually tempers what Josh has got going on? Are you in that business also?
I'm not. I'm in a health tech startup, and I'm a manager there. So I just, again, don't do any work, but tell people how to do their job.
This has got to be, I've been an entrepreneur my entire life, bootstrapped every fucking business that I've had. And, as I was growing up in business, it's like, I never understood you guys. So legitimize your career for me. I know you do. I know you provide value to the world. And this is not at all a slap on what you do. I just don't understand it. I don't understand. There's people that actually go to an office or work remotely every day. They're not like CEOs or C-suite, and they're not like frontline or customer facing people. They're just all that middle stuff. You're like the creamy nougat in the center, aren't you?
Yeah,
I like
you go
that
first.
example. Yeah, I like that example. We are the creamy nougat, 110%, 110%, Doug. The CEOs, they're like Bowman. They're visionaries. They're like, let's do this big old plan. But there's no how to do it. That's the middle manager's job, to figure out how to actually do that and get everybody walking in the same direction, essentially.
But a guy like Josh, though, he doesn't have any money. He just has the ideas. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm the why guy. He's the how guy. I have to be like, hey guys, we're going to use these new AI tools to automate banking in this way, and it's going to be incredible. So, and I make a PowerPoint to say that.
Are you like the innovation guy within a company? Like, I'm the guy that's filling the white space. I like to go in there and fill the space. I'm like, do you sit around a conference table with other people? I'm just trying to figure out how you do what you do. And it's like, I come up with great ideas every day. I just don't get paid for them until I actually put feet to the pavement and make them happen. So we have to do it all, but you get to do the ideas, but none of the implementing.
Yeah, here's the best part about being a big idea guy in the middle cream of the company.
Yeah.
I actually don't come up with any of the ideas. I just filter out thousands of bad ones. That's
you
it.
Get to be you get to be a dick your entire life. It sounds like it's all. What do I do? What do I do, Josh? I am a guy that just I am the negative Nancy in the organization. I'm the one that says it's a stupid idea, but I have to temper it. I can't say it's a stupid idea, but I have to build better ideas out of the stupidity.
Yeah, no, I definitely, and I've been working on that because I'm a bit of a people pleaser, and it's a problem, Doug, because I don't want to tell people like their ideas suck, or I don't need any more feedback on that. I've already heard it 1,000 times. Thanks, no thanks. I don't want an hour meeting. But I've been getting better at that recently, and I've been consulting with Wes on it, and we've come up with a term. It's big timing. So I've been practicing big timing people on the reg. Yeah. All right.
So I'm not going to ask any personal questions about income or salary or anything like that. But if someone were to interview for a position like that within corporate America, what would somebody maybe consider an acceptable amount of money to be able to make doing something like that? I'm sure it could be everywhere, but what would be typical?
Yeah, market range for product, is what based on the cities, right? If you're in New York City or West Coast in LA, you're going to make like 160 to like 260, like on average in the middle. And upper, is that like working 4 or 5 years?
15 hours a week, or is that like a 50-hour a week kind of job? I don't know what the hours are.
Oh, it's definitely not 15. No, it would be like it depends on the company, but usually like it just is like you're the guy who's in charge of getting the thing done. So like if you don't, you're fired. So. You work more is what I have seen in the couple of the people I know who do it in like Amazon and other places like that.
And how long have you been doing that type of job?
For me, I've been doing it for 5 years.
And you're obviously good at it. Or you're just a really good bullshitter, or you're a very good filter guy, and you've been able to last for 5 years before they've discovered that you aren't actually doing anything. One or the other. I can't figure it out. Which one is it?
Yeah, they have no idea. And
They
don't
don't
send
know.
this podcast to my LinkedIn network.
No, people don't.
Mm.
My mom actually thinks I'm an accountant, so I don't actually do. I don't do it. Yeah, she has no idea. She still thinks I'm a DJ, so it's totally fine. It's totally
Because
fine.
you have a microphone, she's like, he must be a DJ.
Yes, exactly. And Wes, so how does what you do differ from what Josh does? Because it sounds like he's the idea guy, or he filters the ideas, and then are you actually boots on the street making it happen?
Yeah, I'm usually one layer up above the boots on the street. So I'm helping corral the boots on the street people to get the job done, essentially, and making sure they're heard and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so what's your skill set?
I don't have many, Doug. I'll be honest with you.
That's
Okay.
the best question.
Do you have soft? You have
a
soft
podcast.
skills? Yeah, you have soft. Yeah, I have a podcast too.
Yeah.
You can see how far that's got me.
Yeah.
So do you have? Are you a good soft skills guy? Do you have good? Are you good at conflict resolution or anger management or anything like that?
Yes, yeah, I just circle D all the above. I don't like to toot my own horn, but I'm pretty good at making connections with people pretty quick. I think Bowman would be a great person to ask that to. Bowman, what are my skills?
Oh, wow. I was going to ask, do you have empathy, Wes?
I heard him do a couple of podcast episodes when you weren't there. I don't think he's got empathy. I don't think he cared why you didn't show up. At least that's what came through. That was the hot dog stand guy, right? That was that the day that the hot dog guy was on the show? That was actually a pretty interesting story. I mean, he did no market research. He's standing in a parking lot like a fucking numbskull, and he ends up selling his business at the end of the day, which was kind of cool. It went from startup to exit very quickly in
Like 3 days.
In 3 days. It was great. And he made his $3,000 or whatever he needed to get out of it. So, and he sold it to a church. So it's all good.
Yeah. So that guy was awesome.
Well, you wouldn't know.
Yeah,
Bowman.
so yeah, that's right. You weren't there that day, Josh. So come on, man. You have no right to say anything. So,
Right.
All right. So I'm going to ask Josh this question about Wes, but I need to know, and then Wes, I want you to chime in here. What skills does Wes have that are marketable to the world?
Wes is he instead of just being like curious, but then chasing that curiosity into infinity. Wes is curious and then chases it to an actual step that he does. Then he stands on top of that step and then he looks around and then he chases it to the next one. He actually is more of someone who could who would succeed in a startup than me. Like genuinely.
So have you guys ever worked on, so you have the podcast together. Have you worked on a business together outside of the podcast?
We did. We started a lunchbox selling business, believe it or
Oh,
not.
I heard you mention that. Was that here or was that on an episode? I don't remember what that was. I heard you mention that.
No worries. I think we mentioned it definitely on an episode. We had a whole episode on it. I think it's episode 3 or 4. Either way.
Oh, you know what? It was on one of your YouTube shorts. I think it was on one. You were talking about lunchboxes or something like that. I do my research, guys. You know,
Doug,
got nothing else to do about it. Hey, listen. Did you listen? Honestly, did you listen to any episodes of the Nice Guys on Business? Oh, fuck,
I
you
sure
did.
did.
You did. What,
Yes,
did you hear
I
an
sure
interview?
did.
No, Josh didn't. That's fine. He's been busy thinking big picture things. Did you listen to? Do you remember if it was an interview episode with me and a guest, or was it me and Strickland shooting the shit?
It was you and a guest, and it was during COVID.
Oh yeah. Those aren't any good. You don't want to listen to those.
Oh, I'll do better next time, Doug.
No. You definitely want to listen to the Friday fuckery episodes. Those are the kind that most relate to the topics that you guys talk about, which is good. Which is partly what attracted me to you being in the guest seat too. Because whenever you applied or wanted to get on the show, I just quickly flipped to your YouTube channel and I'm like, oh, these guys are just like us. They have no point. It's like,
Yes.
This is great. How many episodes of the Flop Pod and the Flop Podcast have you created?
We have 13 released right now, and a lot of it we have 3 more that have been produced, but have been waiting to be released. So we have some in the bank.
So hats off to you guys. You made it past Pod Fade, which is episode 12. So you're doing very well. The next hurdle is going to be at the 1 year mark. So how long have these 12 episodes released or 13 released and then 3 more in the bank? When did you start?
We started our first episode in mid-December of last year.
Nice. All right. So 6 months later, you're doing fine as of the recording of this. If you had to paint a blue sky picture of where you want to be, with this podcast? Like, what was? And let me ask you this, Josh. Who was the creator of the show? First of all, who came up with the idea? Right, first and foremost.
Oh, it's all Wes. Yeah, he's the mastermind genius.
All right,
yeah.
so I'll redirect to Wes then. If Wes, you could paint the perfect picture of the ideal environment that the podcast could land in, and how long would it take you to get you there, and what does that look like in terms of success?
It's a great question. Our ultimate goal with the podcast is for failure to be a topic of conversation that people can bring up and not feel ashamed about, essentially. But, at the same time, that sounds very serious coming out of my mouth, and we are not very serious guys. So if we could land in a place where, people are talking about failure, are interacting in a community about that topic, then I would be happy. Even if it's not that, even if we don't end up with that many subscribers, as long as we can offer value in that way, I'd be a happy man at the end of the day.
Well, and I appreciate you saying that, and that's a great attitude of the guy that wants to give back to the community that has served you so well, or something like that. At episode 13, that works. At episode 100 or 200, or God forbid you get to episode 500 and you don't fucking have any business that comes from it, though, you'll send up, why the hell am I doing this fucking podcast? I'm showing up, I'm queuing up and working my ass off to create this great content. Well, as hard as we have to work as podcasters, working your ass off. And at some point you have to say, like, I gotta have success. What does success, other than having an impact? Now, maybe that's it. Maybe I'm just a really selfish son of a bitch. And like, hey, the only thing that I think is valuable to me is if I can actually go to the bank and cash a check from this. That might not be your thing, though. Do you care would you like to quit your job at some point?
That's a really good question.
Careful, because somebody might be listening from your
Doug, that's selfish for sure. Just want to say it on record.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I'm going to ask you because it's fine. You're not going to share it, and I won't share it either. I promise. Like, would you ultimately look, if you win the lottery, would you still work your job?
I wouldn't work my job per se. I would work on businesses. That's what I'm really passionate
all right. So
about.
hold on. So we've just established if you win the lottery and you win $5 million or $10 million, you don't have to work anymore. You're okay with saying, hey, look, I loved my job, but I'm going to quit. And Josh, let me ask you the same question. If you won $5 million in the lottery, would you quit your job or would you keep it?
Yeah, I would finish my current projects because I'm pretty passionate about them.
Of course.
But obviously,
no,
blah, blah, blah. But no, seriously, it's pretty exciting right now. But I'd probably want to do something myself, like where I'm in charge of it all.
All right, cool.
And I'd have the money to do that.
All right, we've just established that if you were successful, meaning if you won a lottery, you would quit your job. That's fine. Let's just assume the lottery is now your podcast, and you've won the podcast lottery. What does that entail? Like, what does success in podcasting mean to you guys?
Wes, I think it's if we get an AG1 commercial slot. I think that's what the world needs.
What's the AG? What the fuck is that? I don't even know what that is.
Well, I'm not going to give them a free commercial, Doug, but because I'm holding out. But it's
what's the AG1?
It's like the most common kind of BS health. No, not BS. It's the most common health supplement that you get if you listen to like Huberman's podcast or any tech podcast, essentially.
All right, so success for you is landing an international sponsor.
That's right.
All right, and does that pay? Does that pay any money?
I sure am expecting it to. Yeah. We're not in negotiations yet, but Wes has a similar take. I actually know the strategy. We have a strategy, but I want to let Wes,
Yeah, Wes, I'm curious, since you were the founder of the podcast, like what equates to podcast stardom to you?
Yeah, I know in podcasting, a lot of the revenue comes from advertisements. I think it's like 70%, generally speaking, comes from advertisement. We're stationed on YouTube because I wanted to have a strong subscriber model where YouTube pays out at different intervals for different hours watched. So I'd say our first step, Doug, is to just make enough each month so we can pay off the costs of producing the podcast.
Yeah. What's that cost you?
The platform we use costs $30 a month, and the editing software was a capital purchase of like $300.
Got it.
So other than that,
it sounds like, so you're doing all the editing on your own. So it's like hey, if you can make $360 a year to pay the monthly hosting fee and $300 pay off the capital contribution that you made to it, you'll feel really good.
Yeah, exactly. I would feel really good about that, but also if we can make some money on top of that slowly over time, that would also be optimal as well.
Would you guys ever consider, like, I love your topic that you deal with. I love the angle of, I'm going to bring people's failure to the podcast airwaves, and then we're going to be able to share with them. So there's some level of relatability. And then the hook, I see the hook, again, just as a podcast strategist looking at what you're doing, the hook for you is then on top of what you're doing, sharing a great message of failure, I'd love to have a coaching program attached to it so that you could teach people how to avoid that thing that you just discussed on your show. How cool would that be?
Yeah, that'd be super cool. That'd be super cool. I would love to have a coaching program, and I would love Tyler to run it.
Now, Tyler, the guy that's not here, because we're gonna delegate the responsibility of actually the only work that has to get done to the guy that's not here.
That's a manager move. He's a manager. You see?
Right. Delegation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love it. Well, I see that for you as a vision for, I always tell everybody when they're coaching clients, I always say, hey, look, you got to get to know your mom, your market, your offer, and your message. If you know who your market is, you have a specific detailed offer, and you can message it properly, you can sell fucking anything to the world. You guys, the only thing that you are short in this is an offer. You've got your market. You understand your market is the people that are out there that are relating to the failures. Look, I listened to your podcast and I got hooked because as I'm listening to it, I'm like, fuck, I did that, or I was a little short-sighted. I did that too. Or this was a project that I had within my company. The company's not a failure, but that project that I had was, man, it's really good to commiserate with other people that have been the same failure as I was in my business. So you've got your market key, definitely targeted. You have your messaging down. I love the three of you, the dynamic that you three have, and the guests that come on the show. You don't even need all three of you. If one of you was available and you had that interview, that'd be great. If all three of you are available to do it, that's great. But don't discount the idea of doing an interview just because all three of you aren't available. So now we understand we got your market, and now we have your messaging down. You guys play really well off of each other. All you now need to do is create a coaching program that's around it, charge enough money for the coaching program for people to want to take advantage of it. And you've fucking got a 6-figure business on your hands. Pardon my expression for just a second. Fuck the advertisers.
Oh, okay.
Because
even AG1?
Even AG1, no matter who is going to advertise on your show, don't take this wrong. You, me, are normal people, as normal as we can be. Sure. We are never going to be, we did not come to, I don't know, what's the guy's name? Huberman? Is that his name?
Yeah,
Huberman. Did Huberman have a life before podcasting?
Yeah, he did.
Probably.
He was, I don't know. I don't really remember his background.
Okay. All right, well, let me ask you a question. Did Joe Rogan have a life before he became the Spotify Joe Rogan?
Well, yeah, he hosted Fear Factor.
And he was, and did Tim Ferriss and Tony Robbins, did these guys have fucking careers and communities before they came to podcasting? Yep. Of course they did. Did Wes and Josh have a community before they came to podcasting?
Some.
2 people, 6 people, 10 people. I had 7. I don't know about you guys, but I had 7. I figured I am not going to make my money in the beginning from advertising and sponsorship. Why am I chasing myself, chasing everybody and creating another job? I'm going to go out and chase AG1 about the benefits of advertising on my fucking podcast that has, no offense, but our podcast was this way too, have 27 fucking listeners. Who's going to advertise on your show? No one, until you either get a community or figure out another way to make money. So my advice, if not that you're asking, but since I'm here and this is my fucking show, I'll do whatever I want to. What I'm going to say is, why not have a coaching program that solves the problem that your people are coming to listen to? Now, if you can put that into your already busy schedule of being 2 full-time workers in the worlds that you're in, then you've got a gold mine of opportunity. Even if you could only do it part-time in the beginning, none of my business where anybody is financially. Again, I said that before. But if you could make $100,000 part-time from a coaching business, how many $100,000 clients would you need to have before you're able to say, you know what? I think I won the lottery on this podcast. I don't really need my full-time job anymore.
That's a good point, Doug. I haven't thought of it like that, to be honest with you.
Because for me, I'm like, I don't want to work like a real job. Like what you guys do, mad props to you guys. huge amount of respect. I could fucking never do it. I'm not interested in doing it. You know why? You're not saying this. I'm saying this. I couldn't fucking deal with your bosses. I don't want to deal with them. I don't want to deal with not only your bosses, but I don't want to deal with your fucking staff either, because I hate both of them. I hate the pretentious asshole that's above you, and I hate the dumb, ignorant shit that's below you, because they want your job, and all your boss wants you to do is make them look good so that they don't get fired. So for me, I don't want any of that stuff. I like self-employment because I get to fuck up as much as I want, and the only person that's going to be mad at me is my mortgage company if I can't make a mortgage payment. And I've never been late on a mortgage payment in 50 years.
And if you ever are, Doug, you can come onto the podcast and talk about it.
And talk about the failure. So we've just created a coaching program out of your podcast. Do you have to chase AG1 pie in the sky, which you'll never get? Not because you can't get them, but because you have to build a community first. You got to figure out that puzzle before AG1 wants to even talk to you.
Yeah, super true. They're not going to want an advertisable body of 41 people, which is our current subscriber count on YouTube.
Correct. So I look at it and think, I appreciate the fact that you just said, you gave me the stat. I didn't give it to you. 70% of podcasts make money through advertising. And I'm like, no, that's not actually accurate. I mean, it's accurate. That's where 70% of the money comes in podcasting. But you and me will never be that guy. And I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. I'm putting me in that boat. I don't even want to be that guy. I'm chasing a fucking ego metric called downloads or views. Who cares about that? I don't care about that. You know what I care about? I care about paying my bills and working as little as I have to and enjoying what I do with my life. And I'm sure that you guys would agree. How do I do less and actually make more? Not how do I chase a fucking advertiser for advertising dollars and then I have to be beholden to their product, because God, if I say a bad word about health or fitness or anything like that, they're going to drop me because I'm not woke, or whatever the fucking term is nowadays.
Or they'll castrate.
You can't say that.
You can't say that. I can't say. I don't know. I don't even know what I can and can't say. I'm sure I've offended everybody on my show. We get emails or calls all the time from our audience that are like, you're idiots. Yes, I know you're idiots, but you still listen to our show, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, 22 and under females are no longer subscribing.
It's totally fine. They were never. I'm a 60-year-old fucking old white Jew. Nobody wants to talk to me, or no 22-year-old female wants to be a part of my audience anyway. You know who I appeal to? Other fucking 60-year-old old white Jews, and some women maybe that maybe are MILFs or are hard up and need to talk. I don't have any idea.
Definitely the
strong.
MILFs,
Is that how the analytics come across? And it's like,
well, that's my demographic. When anybody else, can you send me a media kit? Yeah, wait, hold on, Doug. You sent me a media kit. It said your audience, your target market is 60-year-old MILFs. What is that all about? How much can you get from them? I don't know. They got a pretty good amount of discretionary income or disposable income that's in their back pocket.
And how do we create a product for them, Doug? That's the real question.
Yeah, that is true. I don't know. I don't know what that would be. It would have to be something probably like a vibrator or so. I have no idea what that would be. But that would be good. The nice guy's vibrator. That would be a good product.
Dude, that sounds so
I know, right? I know.
It sounds
really
good.
Look, we just came up with a great idea. See, that would be like an idea that I would take from inception completely right to failure. That would be right where that would go.
Well, the nice guy vibrator has a certain ring to it.
It does. It really does.
Being a nice guy.
Yeah, he was just being a nice guy. That's right. What does my audience want to know about you? Tell me things that we haven't talked about that we want to be able to share with our audience.
Yeah, it's a really good question. What haven't we talked about, Bowman?
I don't know.
What have we talked about so far? We talked about failures. We talked about how important that those are. We talked about having fun. We talked about MILFs. I mean, we've hit all the main pillars here.
The important points.
Yeah.
Do you guys? Would you go ahead? What were we gonna say, Josh?
Oh, I was gonna say like the business venture that me and Wes did. We haven't talked about it at all.
Yeah,
and that was the lunchbox thing. It was fun. It was super fun. We started getting into it, and then we just like way too much fun. But no, we did this thing. We did Amazon drop shipping back when it was cool.
I see ads for that all the time. Is it still a thing? And they say, hey, if you want to, using AI, you can actually make a lot of money using Amazon drop shipping. So what happened to the business?
It was super fun. Yeah, we sold like, I don't know, 6,000 lunch boxes.
Oh, you did.
Made a ton of money up front, and then we I would say we made a ton of money. It was coming in. We had like shipping. We had like contacts of different warehouses, quality control spreadsheets. It was a whole thing. It was super fun.
You had spreadsheets? Jesus.
We had
Spreadsheets. We were legit.
spreadsheets.
We were legit.
God. That was,
Yeah.
if you have a spreadsheet, that is legit. I would never be able to work for a company like that. I hate fucking spreadsheets.
Like the when you know, this is when I knew that I was a businessman. It's actually when I was filling out just specifically what exactly the eighth of a centimeter distance between the mesh holes in the side of a lunchbox should be.
Wow.
And how many of those could be broken before I considered it a failure on my quality control worksheet for my testers.
Where were you buying product from, or were you were drop shipping, which means that you weren't actually ever taking possession. You were going right from the manufacturer or distributor directly to the consumer.
So it wasn't purely drop shipping. We did fulfillment by Amazon. So we were actually purchasing the products from China, getting them branded and changing them up a little bit, and then sending them into Amazon's warehouse so they could be sold up.
What was the design?
Oh man, I wish I had one right here.
You don't have any?
Hold on.
Oh, Bowman does. Bowman does.
That's good. How far away is he distance wise for you?
Oh, he's about 2 hours, 2.5 hours from me.
Got it.
So
Got
super
it.
close.
Where are you physically located?
North Carolina.
And where's he?
Also North Carolina.
Oh,
He's at
I
the
got
beach. I'm in Durham, so
Got
middle
it.
of the state. You're
Got
in
it.
California, right, Doug?
Yeah, a small town called Ojai, just south of Santa Barbara.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
beautiful part of the country. And Strickland, my partner, he's in Austin, Texas. So we both are from Maryland originally, and we were both represented by the same agent. We were both in the live event business. Strickland is a wedding singer, and I was a DJ. So we were doing that for 20 plus years, 30 years.
That sounds like a start to a sitcom, Doug. I'll be honest with you.
It definitely is. As a matter of fact, I wanted to, this was my idea prior to me inventing my second career after getting out of the live events business. I wanted to have a reality show called The Agency, because Washington Talent Agency, that represented both my business and Strickland's band, the stories that could just be told by the clients that were calling in were fucking ridiculous. We're like, this would be a great reality show called The Agency, and they'll probably do it one day, but I'll get no credit. I just had the idea. I didn't actually implement. So I'm kind of like Josh in that way.
You
You have a lunchbox, Josh? You have a lunchbox?
Very, very cool. The original Autobox. Look how small and unobtrusive that logo is.
That is that is a very large logo. Well, but that's okay though, because that's a kind of a cool name. Did you have like an otter as your mascot?
I wish we were that clever. No, we would have, but we probably would have got sued by a OtterBox too. So
that's true. That's very true. I do like the Autobox. That's nice. So what would be your cost on that product?
What was it?
Man, $4.
And what did you sell it for?
$22.
That's great. And what's Amazon's take? I'm very curious.
Oh, they get you, dude.
Yeah,
I bet.
you.
It's like $9 shipping,
I
or
get it.
$9 from Amazon, and then the advertising on top.
So
Nice.
what was you were making so if I'm doing my math correctly, it was 9 plus 4, and what would you sell it for?
About 22.
22. So would you make $5 or more a piece?
When we started, we made about $5 a lunchbox. And
Yeah.
then what happened was Amazon's fees kept on going up, and we weren't making any more per box. So it
Right.
started turning into $4, then $3, and then $2.
Is that
and then
is that their ploy to lure you in as a retailer, and then they come up with Amazon Basics and, hey, what do you mean you have the Ada box? What are you
yeah,
talking about,
exactly.
Amazon? What are you doing? As soon as they see that you have a successful product, I would think that they would want to get into that business and just completely bump you guys out.
Oh yeah, they cannibalize products all the time. It's really, I don't blame them. If I was Amazon, I would do the same damn thing.
Hey,
right?
you didn't get to be hundreds of billions of dollars a year in revenue by being the nice guy on the block. That's why I'll never be Amazon, because it's just way too. As you can tell, we are not necessarily the nice guys on business. We do have some pretty colorful language on the show, but it shows that even guys that drop the F-bomb can have a
soul.
viable. Yeah, right. Exactly. Have a soul. Exactly. All right. So you're 13 episodes in. You got a few more in the can that are coming out still. Tell me about some of the guests on your show.
Yeah, so we've had people from that work in all different areas of life. We had the hot dog salesman earlier. We had people that work in venture capital. We've had people work in health health tech. We have people work in pharmacies. So
It's funny, venture capital or funding, that's wrought with failure. I mean, 99% of their businesses, or 90+% of their business is failure. That's all they actually go for failure.
Yeah. And they try to plan around that failure. But I mean,
right.
Like you said, 95-80%, depending on what series level they're at, fail.
Right.
So a lot of cool stories came from that. But Doug, you know what we were thinking? If you're up to it, is having one of our segments played live on your show, Find the Flop.
Oh,
you want to find the flop?
Do Doug? I need to? Is this the screen share so that you can show me things on the screen? Because I saw you do like the Coca-Cola, or not Coca-Cola, but what soda I didn't get to see the answer because you guys popped into but what was the soda that was the biggest failure?
Oh, it was Bite. It was
that was that a Coca-Cola product? Because that wasn't Dr. Pepper and cream soda or whatever it was. I actually like that. That was a good. I think Tyler was he was nauseated by that. I think, if I remember correctly, or forget who was on that show. But so how do we play this game that you're about to do? Do you want a screen share, or do you need anything else?
No screen share needed.
All right, I'm ready.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, welcome to Nice Guys Podcast.
Hopping right in.
Yeah.
Here we go.
We're finding the flop.
Hitting it raw, Bowman.
It's the absolute best segment on our podcast, and it's going to be one of the worst here for sure.
No, so, this is great. I'm enjoying this so far. You guys are doing the work, and I'm still making money. So go ahead.
Heck yeah. All right, so you two are going to be competing, okay? And all I'm going to do is I'm going to read out like 4 different businesses or products. In this case, businesses or products. Yep. I don't remember which.
That's fine.
And you just got to find the one that flopped. One of them failed. It did it the worst of the rest.
Do we go back and forth, or is this just whoever chimes in first?
Look, you're both going to lock in your choices, and you can choose to take the initiative or not.
Okay, I got it.
You can choose to gloat and talk through your decision making to show how smart you are.
Understood. Yeah. This is not a speed game because I get under pressure and then I'll like break into flop sweat. You like that? Hey, you should have a segment called Flop Sweat. That would be really good.
Write that down, Wes.
You should also have another segment called Flop House, and that would be a good one too. Because I always say to my girlfriend all the time, I'm like, what's my biggest worry? Look, 60-year-old Jewish guy. My biggest worry is running out of money. That's always my biggest worry because that will put me in the flop house. So I say that a lot. Okay. Anyway, continue. Continue, Josh.
Well, let's go on this ad hoc version of Find the Flop on the Nice Guy Podcast. Here we go. We've got 4 different businesses or products. Number 1 is Blippy. Just going to give you a quick fact. It's a social media platform where you can share your credit card purchases with your friends in real time. How exciting.
Who cares? God.
Number 2, Duolingo. Have you ever heard of this one? A free language learning platform. Very fun. Calm. Yeah. Number 3, meditation and sleep app that offers guided meditations and sleep stories. And number 4, Notion was a productivity tool. It combines note-taking and task management. Those are the 4.
Wes, can we work together on this? Is that possible, or you want to compete?
Yeah, okay. I can be.
All right, let's do this as a team here. I'm either thinking that it's going to be 1 or 4 is going to be the flop because I've heard of Calm and I've heard of the second one too. What was the second one again? Duolingo. And those I think are both still active and around. So I'm going to go 1 or 4. What would you say, Wes? Unless you have more information.
I have some more information, Doug. I use Notion for work currently.
So I know it's that's good. Notion. Well, look, that's good. All right. So are we thinking it's number 1?
It's 100% number 1. Plus,
Blimpy?
Who the hell cares about what I bought with my credit card?
That's right. That's true. I'm going to go with that. We're going to go with that one, Josh. What do we say?
Locking it in. It looks like a Blippy quickly fizzled out due to privacy concerns and total lack of user interest. Who'd have thought that no one actually wanted to share their financial transactions socially?
It's kind of like, okay, it's an app that CVS or Walgreens put out. It's like name that pharmaceutical, and every time you get a prescription, you put it on there. I'm sure it's not like breaking any HIPAA codes or anything like that.
Exactly. You must have hemorrhoids. Why'd you buy that cream there?
Yeah, that's congratulations. Right. You both win. Find the flop. Very, very quick segment.
Oh, that was it? One question? Come on, Josh. You have one more? You got one more in there?
Oh, I can pull one out of the backlog here. Hold on.
Right, just give me one more.
Let's get one more.
Didn't really give me that was too easy. That was pretty easy. That was easy.
Prepare your souls. And you can't team up this time, okay? This time it's 1v1 winner take all, okay?
All right, fine, whatever.
So we can team up. You don't listen to that dumb.
Since when is Josh making the fucking rules?
Yeah, exactly.
This is my segment.
All right, Josh. That's fine. That's fine. We'll work through mentally and we'll come up with the answer. Sorry, Wes.
Okay.
That's
All right.
I hope you win, Wes. You probably will. You're smarter than me.
Sports streaming has become a major part of how we watch games today. Let's look at some services aimed to score big with sports fans and find the flop. Number 1, Fubo TV, offering a range of live sports and television channels, could be a top choice for sports enthusiasts looking to stream as an alternative to cable. Number 2, DAZN USA, revolutionizing sports broadcasting with a subscription-based model to provide on-demand sports.
How do you say it again?
DAZN?
DAZN, DAZN.
No Googling, loser. Just no Googling, Wes. No Googling, Wes.
I'll show my hands.
That's good.
Yeah. Good. He came honest, Doug. All right. Number 2 is DAZN USA. Number 3, Peacock, combining variety of sports with all their other entertainment options. Everybody loves Peacock. It's so great. Number 4, ESPN Plus. Wow. ESPN Plus. So Fubo TV, DAZN USA, Peacock, and ESPN Plus. Which one of these flopped?
I'm locked in. I got my fingers up. Do you have them? You ready?
I got
ready to share.
I got mine ready
here we
too.
go.
But I do want to say something real quick.
Yes,
Bowman, this truly shows how much sports you don't watch, because all these are relatively popular sporting platforms.
I don't watch any sports at all.
This is where Josh and I work together. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you 5 football teams names, so it's fine. All right, I got my hands. I'm ready to go. Are you ready to display it on screen? You ready, Wes? In 3, 2, 1, display it. We're both going with 2.
Yeah,
both say
definitely
2.
DAZN.
Oh man,
because I think I've heard of the other ones. If I've heard of them, I would think that they're still around. But what is that right?
Yes, you are correct. You guys win again, and it's disgusting. I've dishonored my whole family. They succeeded in many international markets, and they were really trying to come into the Americas. But expansion here was a challenge for them. They couldn't get the rights. They had issues with competition from many well-established networks and lots of technical issues. So they couldn't get a good enough contract, and they flopped after about 3 years and a lot of money spent trying to get into America.
I have one more category. It would be presidential candidates that are currently on trial. You ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
No, let's not do that one. Let's not.
I thought Peacock would be like, because I hate Peacock. Every time I have to turn on Peacock, I just want to just rip out my own eyes with a plastic spoon.
I remember when I first tuned into Peacock, because we don't have cable, but we have a lot of streaming channels here. Peacock was a channel that you had to sit through those commercials and you couldn't forward them, or they were like the worst commercials ever. So yeah, but I don't think we have that service any longer. That was good. I like that segment. So how many segments do you have? We used to do, again, just trying to temper your excitement in the podcasting space a little bit. We used to have segments all the time. Now we fucking don't do any segments. We basically celebrated episode 1500. We're like, oh, is that today? That's how now we have no segments, and we're like, no, we don't do anything. It's because it's just another day in paradise. We just love every episode that comes out.
Yeah, we have what, 3 segments, Bowman, that we do pretty regularly?
Quick hitter questions. We got the find the flop and the fail of the week.
That's my favorite. It's the fail of the week. It's the best one.
I think it aligns with, so fail of the week, if I remember correctly, was a segment of your show where you guys all discussed like the few things that have happened that have been of issue to you during the course of the week. Is that correct? Yeah, you've had some pretty good ones there. They don't go quite deep enough for me. I mean, like failure is like I lost my left arm or something like. Not that you want that to ever happen, but it's like failure of the week. I lost that 50 cents in the vending machine does not constitute a failure in my opinion, a business failure. So customer service fails, those are always good. Like storefront fails, those are always good as well. But it's hard. And think about it, you really got to focus on what was a failure in that. Like right now, I'll share. Can I share a failure that I experienced this week? Would that be good?
We'll ad hoc fail of the week. Let's do it, Doug.
Yeah, ad hoc fail of the week. So I'm dealing with a t-shirt company. I think it's called Custom Shirts Inc. Hold on a second. Let me get it right so I don't fuck up anybody else's. CustomInc.com. All right. So if you guys are ever considering CustomInc.com, just know this failure. I ordered literally 24 t-shirts. We have an overseas staff, and I wanted to make sure that everybody overseas, at their suggestion, got a t-shirt. I placed it with my local United States t-shirt manufacturer, placed the order. They said it's going to be a little bit more for shipping. No problem. I paid the premium for shipping. The order is shipped, half the order, by the way. Half the order arrives to my overseas manager that's overseas. And she says they want $175 for customs. I said the t-shirt order was $400. They want $175 for customs. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Called the custom. Hold on, let me get it right because I want to fuck them up. Custominc.com. I called custominc.com and let them know, hey guys, it's $175. Yeah, well, there is a customs charge. You should know that. I'm like, who's the fucking customer here? How would I know that? I understand that they're shipping. Why didn't somebody just say, they said, okay, we'll do this. We will credit you the $175. Customer service win. They came through. That was good. I only realized 2 or 3 days later that it was only for half the shipment.
Oh, no.
The other half, which hasn't arrived yet, is going to have another $175. Plus, this has taken forever for them to work it out. So I would say if you're in the process of buying a t-shirt locally here in the United States, I would wholeheartedly encourage you to use custominc.com because they do a wonderful job. However, if you're going to get something shipped overseas, know that it is a fucking nightmare and don't use them for that. It would have been much easier for me just to go to a company in the Philippines where they're being shipped and say, hey, look, I got, 24 shirts I want, ship them locally here into the Philippines. Would you be okay with it? Probably would have been cheaper and no issue. And that was my fail for the week. My flop for the week.
That's solid fail, Doug.
Pretty
really
good.
Solid fail.
Yeah, and that was on the fly too.
I was going to say, I'm wildly impressed. Wildly impressed.
All right, guys, let's promote your show and then let's wrap it up here. So tell everybody how to get to your show, your website, all the fun stuff.
Yeah, if you want to check out some fails with me, Bowman, and Tyler, the best place to find us is on YouTube, which is YouTube at The Flop Podcast. And it's an @ sign. I don't know why YouTube does it, but that's what they do. So that's what we're kicking. And if you want to maybe be a guest, you want to talk about a failure you've had in the business space, go to floppod.com and there's a form to fill out there. And we'd love to, at least have a conversation to see if you want to hang out with us three dum-dums for a little bit.
And just as a final note, if you're thinking about advertising on their show, AG1, look, I know they have only 41 listeners right now, 41 subscribers, but they are the fucking nuts. Okay, this is a good show for you to start on. If you should pay the standard advertising rates, it's CPM. It's called. It's about $20 per thousand. So you owe them 32 cents for this particular episode. So just so you know, and Josh and Wes and Tyler are winning guys. Guys, thanks for being on the show today. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Doug. It was wonderful being on here. It was great.
Hey, nice guy community. Never underestimate the power of nice. Again, special thanks to Wes and Josh and absentee Tyler. All the information, including access to their podcast and their website and their YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook, all the other fucking places where you can go and see them. But just go to Apple Podcasts and check them out. Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
For the nice guys on business, I'm Steve O'Brien. Seriously, it'll only hurt for a minute. And don't worry, I'll be fine.